Hello everyone. So today's date is 4th of July 2022 and today we are going to discuss about a database mapping. So let's start. So all the modern application development projects uses object-oriented technologies like Java, C Sharp to create the application softwares and the relational database to use or to store the data on the database. So it doesn't mean that we don't have this option only. We can also create application softwares by using procedural programming languages also like COBOL. They are also used. A lot of applications are being created by procedural programming languages, but still the object-oriented programming language and relational databases are come up with a lot of features in there. They have a lot of simplicity and efficient ways to create the applications. So let's assume that we are working with object-oriented technologies and with a relational database. So if you want to deal with this object-oriented technologies and databases, we must need to come up with the object relational impedance mismatch. So basically, in order to do so, we need to first understand, or we need to ensure that there should be a mapping between the objects and relational databases. And how do we map them, or how do we map our objects in a database? So these are the two things we must do ensure, and we must be aware of that. So a mapping is something that connecting a sources from one field to the sources to another field. So this is what simply mapping means. Mapping is mapping basically connecting or saving our objects form of data into the databases or retrieving that data into the form of objects. So mapping is important, very important concept in every programming aspects. So let's see what are the different ways of doing mapping in with the object and relational databases. Simply, if you talk about particularly Java programming language, so it uses a JPA Hibernate to connect with or to communicate with the database. So in Java there are classes, there are objects. So when we create a class, and when we have a number of tables, we require to store whole the programming or program in a form of data into the database. So classes plays an important role. The classes which we are using in our class or our Java project, that can be created in database as a table, and the fields associated with the classes are as considered as a columns in the database. So this is what a simple form of mapping from object to database. Classes being considered as a table, then classes fields being considered as a column, and every object we are storing or we are persisting in a database, that can be considered as a row or one entry in a database. So it is a simple mapping structure. Now we don't have only one classes or only two classes in our package or in our program. There may be number of classes available. So how to deal with them? How to, as we know that there are dependencies of one class to another also. So in that cases, we need to have some relational mappings also. So relational mappings are basically the mappings which does provide the relationship between one to many or many to one. There are basically four types of mappings, relationships. The very first is one-to-one relationship. In one-to-one, as the name suggests that, let's understand it through an example. So if you talk about a student and his batch, so one student can have only one batch, but at the same time many students can have one batch. So if we talk about one-to-one relationship, then one student can have only one batch. it could be right, but at the same time many students can also have one batch. So this is the second scenario. Okay, so let's see, in a class every student has a laptop, but if you assume, or if you assume that only one laptop is there for one student, then there can be a relationship between student and class, or a laptop, that one student can have one laptop. So we can create the student class and the laptop class, and we can map them, or we can map a table laptop class with a student. So this is what a one-to-one mapping is. Now if we talk about one-to-many, then one student can have number of subjects. So this is a one-to-many relationship. And next one is many-to-one. So many-to-one is, we can say that many students can have only one batch. So it is a many-to-one relationship. And the fourth one is many-to-many. So many-to-many scenario comes in if we talk about YouTube channel. So many students can have many YouTube channel subscribers, or many subscribers can have many YouTube channels, or many YouTube channels can have many subscribers. So in this way we can assume that how the relationship is basically happen, and with the clear assumption of this relationship we can build our projects in a better way. So if we talk about Java, there are annotations provided there to create the tables in a particular database. So one-to-one, one-to-many, many-to-one, or many-to-many, these are the annotations which we must do, need to use before creating any Java project. So what are the main advantages of mapping databases? It does help us to formalize our data, to manage the data in an efficient way, and let's say storing the whole data in only one table is not always feasible. It can create a lot of complications. So for that reason we generally do separate our tables as per our department, or as per our requirements. So student can have one table, then the batch can have one table, then students gadgets can have another table, then students if there are some admin departments can have one table. So everybody can be connected with each other, but they at the same time they cannot conflict with each other. The changes in one table do not affect in another table. So it also do ensure that there are loose couplings between them. So this is why mapping is very much important in particular projects, and in whenever we are saving a data or storing a data in relational databases. So this is about database mapping. Thank you so much.